When you think of the Roman Empire, you probably imagine marble columns, unstoppable legions, and impressive laws. But flowing through the veins of this civilization, there was something softer, sneakier, and far more dangerous than marble: lead. The Romans called it plumbum. In fact, our modern word plumbing comes from this metal. Lead made Rome one of the most advanced cities in the ancient world. It carried water, protected buildings, and even sweetened their food. Yet this same metal might have quietly poisoned Roman society for centuries. Today, we're diving into how one of history's greatest engineering feats could also have been one of its deadliest hidden threats. Welcome to Rome's deadly love affair with lead. I'm sure you didn't realize it, but lead was everywhere in Rome, and there's a simple reason: it was abundant. The Romans mined silver on a massive scale, and with silver came huge amounts of lead as a byproduct. Instead of wasting it, they put it to work. Lead was amazing. It melted at low temperatures, shaped easily, and didn't rust. For Roman engineers, it was almost perfect. They used it to build thousands of kilometers of water pipes. Aqueducts carried water to villas, public fountains, and enormous baths, all through lead pipes. The city's infrastructure literally ran on lead. But lead's use didn't stop at plumbing. Women used lead-based cosmetics to whiten their skin. Painters created vibrant pigments with lead. Ships' hulls were lined with lead to protect against marine life. Rome, quite literally, ran on lead. The most dangerous use of lead, however, wasn't in the pipes, it was in the kitchen. Romans loved their wine. To sweeten it and make it last longer, they used a syrup called sapa or defrutum. This syrup was often cooked in lead pots. When grape juice reacted with lead, it formed a highly sweet compound called lead acetate, also known as sugar of lead. For the Romans, this was an effective sweetener, but today we know lead acetate is highly toxic. Studies suggest that a Roman aristocrat could easily consume lead in amounts far above what modern science considers safe. And it wasn't just the wine. Lead was in sauces, preserved fruits, and even in the meat. The wealthy drank from lead pipes, cooked in lead vessels, and sweetened their wine with lead. And over time, this would slowly poison them from the inside. Lead poisoning, called plumbism, doesn't kill suddenly. It's slow and cumulative. Chronic exposure can cause irritability, memory problems, fatigue, infertility, and in extreme cases, mental instability. Historians have long asked, could the strange behavior of emperors like Caligula, Nero, or Commodus have been partly due to lead in their diet? We can't say for certain, but archaeological studies give us clues. Analysis of Roman skeletons shows that elite Romans had much higher lead levels than rural populations. Even environmental studies support this. Ice cores from Greenland reveal that lead in the atmosphere spiked during the Roman period, likely from mining and smelting. It's clear that Rome's upper class, and probably much of its urban population, was exposed to significant amounts of lead. So did lead alone make Rome fall? Of course not. Rome's collapse was the result of many intertwined forces: economic troubles, political instability, military pressures, administrative inefficiencies, and deep social challenges. No single cause can explain the fall of such a vast and complex empire. But lead may have been a hidden factor, quiet, persistent, overlooked. A chronic, invisible health threat slowly undermining the system from within, affecting decision-makers, weakening judgment, reducing fertility among the ruling class, and subtly eroding society's ability to respond to crises. Even the strongest empire can falter when the minds and bodies of its leaders are compromised over time. The story of Rome teaches us a critical lesson. Technologies that make life easier, lead pipes, cosmetics, food additives, can also become tools of destruction when their long-term effects are misunderstood or ignored. Progress, when pursued without caution, can be deceptively dangerous. To the Romans, lead symbolized advancement, clean water, engineering mastery, comfort, status. But the damage it caused was slow, cumulative, and invisible, noticed only after generations had already paid the price. Today, we no longer drink from lead pipes, yet our modern world faces similar unseen threats. Plastics, industrial chemicals, heavy metals, and environmental pollution quietly shape our health, our ecosystems, and our future, often without immediate warning, and often in ways we are only beginning to understand. As you walk among the marble ruins of Rome, remember this. Sometimes the greatest dangers to civilizations are not the armies at the gates, but the tiny, unseen hazards embedded in everyday life. Rome ruled the Mediterranean for centuries, and yet part of its downfall flowed through its aqueducts, simmered in its kitchens, and rested in its cups. Here on Histora, we've uncovered Rome's toxic truth and the warning it left behind. Because history doesn't always collapse with fire and conquest. Sometimes it fades quietly, from within. Next time, we'll uncover another hidden force that shaped history, an influence just as invisible and just as powerful. Stay tuned.